it a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot.
Floyd Mayweather recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He said Davis is now making his own choices, even if those choices come with risks. Floyd explained that he's offered advice in the past, but if Davis doesn't follow it, then it's out of his hands. He's not going to interfere. Still, Floyd believed the fight is good for boxing. The payday is huge, and he definitely plans to watch it.
In my company, within my team, do it my way. Because if you mess up, I don't mind being a janitor to clean up the mess because I told you to do it a certain way. But if I tell you to do it a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
The boxing world has been buzzing about the Davis versus Paul matchup. Fans and experts are split. Something to fight is just a publicity stunt, while others see it as a smart move for Gervonta to grow his fan base beyond traditional boxing circles. A lot of people from inside the sport are weighing in too. Some are backing Davis's decision, while others are worried about what this means for the future of boxing.
You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game, but you owe Shakur for the game just because of the two style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't got to fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it, but it is kind of crazy.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back when addressing all the criticism Gervonta Davis has been getting. He's frustrated with how people these days seem to attack fighters no matter what they do, often without knowing their personal situations. Hackett made it clear, if Davis chooses to fight Jake Paul, that's his decision, and it should be respected. His message speaks for many trainers and fighters who feel that social media has turned boxing criticism into non-stop noise.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate. All right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You like, why do I have to deal with all of this shit? People trying to keep money coming in, so they trying to come up with bright ideas. At the same time, you got a lot of people trying to get from you.
A lot of heat has also been directed at sports analyst Max Kellerman. He's been accused by other boxing experts being unfairly harsh, especially toward Gervonta Davis. On several shows, Kellerman downplayed Davis's accomplishments, claiming he was never really a champion in his weight class or hadn't done anything outstanding. These comments upset many in the boxing community, who say Davis's record and knockout power speak for themselves. Critics argue Kellerman's attitude shows a deeper issue in the boxing media, where younger fighters often don't get the respect they deserve, while hype and storylines get too much attention. It's another sign of how public opinion in boxing can be swayed by bias and perception.
Kellerman is full of nonsense. Max Kellerman claims that Gervonta Davis was never a champion, that we've never been a period of time when we looked at Gervonta Davis and said Gervonta Davis is the man in that weight class. Bunch of other ridiculousness pouring out of the pie hole of Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is one of the most biased, bought and paid for journalists that there is in the sport of boxing, and to have him back talking again on and giving his opinion again about the sport of boxing, I promise you is not a good thing. But let's analyze what he had to say about Gervonta, that Gervonta was not ever a champion. That is ridiculous because Gervonta Davis was a champion for the IBF at 130. He was a WBA super champion at 130. He is currently the reigning WBA champion at 135, and there is no other champion in the division for the WBA at the moment. He is the only WBA champion that there is at 135. He had a portion of a secondary. The title at the time he won it at 140 was a secondary title. So if you do not want to count that, I don't know why you wouldn't, seeing as everybody else counts that belt. But okay, fine. He's a 2-division world champion. That is more than zero, Max Kellerman. Now, looking at the idea that Gervonta Davis has never been the man in that division is absolutely ridiculous, because Gervonta Davis has really been the man in that division the entire time that he's...
Former world champ Paulie Malignaggi also gave his opinion, and he didn't sugarcoat it. He's strongly against Davis fighting Jake Paul, saying it makes boxing look fake. For him, knockouts only matter when the fighters are evenly matched. Fights like this one, he said, make the sport look like a show instead of a competition. During a discussion with fellow analyst Chris Algieri, Malignaggi pointed out that while casual fans might find the event entertaining, true boxing fans can tell it's more of a spectacle than a serious match. He's worried that giving social media stars the same spotlight as real champions sends a wrong message about what boxing is supposed to be.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist, if he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they did even when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. We're afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
On the other hand, boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult has a more positive view after watching the press conference. At first, he was unsure about the matchup, mainly because of the size difference between the two fighters. He thought Jake Paul might be too big and powerful. But after seeing how composed and sharp Gervonta Davis looked, he changed his mind. Showbiz said Davis acted like a real professional, totally focused and aware of what's at stake. That gave him confidence that Davis could handle the size difference. He added that people shouldn't assume Jake's power will be too much. Davis's skills, smarts, and ability to stay calm under pressure.
His element. I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Because Tank, when he was talking about Jake and JB, even I was like, what is he talking about?
He laughing.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. No, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him.
So that I could understand if that's your concern. I am being extremely truthful with how I feel about this and how I'm reacting to this. My oldest son was like, I see the same thing, Dad, but you're going to get a weird response to your take.
Floyd Mayweather's name is popping up again, but this time not as a promoter. Rumor has it that he's working on setting up a fight with none other than Mike Tyson. Analysts say this move is about more than just money. They believe Floyd still wants to prove he's the biggest name in boxing, even after retiring. With all the attention on Davis and Paul, something Floyd doesn't want anyone, not even his protege, getting more headlines than him. It's classic Mayweather, always craving the spotlight, competition, and a lasting legacy. While Davis and Paul prepare for their big moment, Floyd seems to be reminding everyone that he's
people that are known, where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about what is going to happen in that fight.
Former heavyweight contender Eddie Chambers also stepped into the debate, offering a word of caution to those doubting Gervonta Davis. Chambers pointed out that size doesn't decide everything in boxing. He reminded fans that the sport is full of stories where smaller, more skilled fighters beat bigger opponents. He said Jake Paul might be stronger, but that doesn't matter much against Davis's speed, technique, and ring smarts. Chambers added that while Jake has come a long way, he still doesn't have the experience to handle someone like Davis. He warned fans not to underestimate Tank. His power, strategy, and discipline are real. Chambers' view brings balance to the debate, and people close to Davis say he's taking this fight very seriously. Reports from his training camp describe him as totally locked in. At press events, he's shown a calm, focused, and determined attitude. For Davis, this fight is more than just a paycheck. It's about proving something. A win over Jake Paul could bring massive attention and help him reach a wider audience. Some even believe Davis sees this fight as a smart move to boost his name beyond hardcore boxing fans. While some critics call it a circus, Davis seems focused on showing that he can succeed both as a serious fighter and a mainstream star. He's clearly aiming.
It ain't the size of the damn dog, and I told y'all that, man. Yeah, it's the same thing here. And it's about the smartest dog. Tank too smart for him. Tank got too much boxing IQ for Jake, man. This gonna be easy. Easy. Like I said, man. Tank, please, man. Don't do this to boxing, bro. If there's anything, man, shoot. Man, we can put together some kind of account for you, a GoFundMe account or whatever, bro. And we can, all your fans can give you $1, bro. So that way you don't be, blowing this fight. It's easy, bro. This sparring section. Look, I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell to call this. The circus? Just call it a circus. Yeah, just call it a damn circus. Because, 1 minute they said, oh, this is the fight.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected, and we'll catch you next time.